How's it going, everyone? Maximilian here, bringing you some more Modern Warfare 3, and the gameplay you'll be watching in the background is me using the P90, and I believe it's with a silencer and rapid fire, so I'm using two attachments. And this is a MOAB gameplay, and is my first MOAB using the P90, and it's a gun I actually really like. But that's the topic of conversation I wanted to make for these videos. So a lot of you guys that might be new that's coming over to my channel from Respawn, when I make these videos I like to keep a lot of the details of my Call of Duty videos about the games, about the tactics, and about how the community is perceiving things right now. And there's been a lot of negativity for Modern Warfare 3, but I like to put things into perspective and try to find out what games did the things the best so we can hopefully get a Call of Duty game later on. Of course, they come out once a year. That kind of takes the best of both worlds. And the topic of conversation, as you probably already realized for this one, is going to be OP weapons or overpowered weapons. Now, wow, we can look back in previous Call of Duties. I'm going to go back in the Modern Warfare era. We're going to not consider Call of Duty and Call of Duty 2. We're going to talk like COD 4, World at War, so on and so forth. And I'm going to kind of put the comparison of how Modern Warfare 3's weapon balance compares to previous games. So I'm sure you guys can all agree with me. Call of Duty 4 had some ridiculously overpowered weapons. Not just in the vein that the other guns were total crap. You can almost do pretty well in any Call of Duty with any gun. But it was the fact that certain guns made other guns absolutely obsolete. And in perspective of other weapons that were similar, like assault rifles being compared to assault rifles, like a triple burst compared to a triple burst, a single shot comparing to a single shot, things like that, one weapon would be better than all of them, and there'd be no reason why you would switch off. And I think we can all agree here, the M16 definitely filled that category, and the M16 was awesome. It was completely awesome in Call of Duty 4, but it was ridiculously overpowered. I'd love to go back and look at the stats, but I never actually did back in the day, because all I did with Call of Duty 4 was really play it. And I know the other extremely powerful weapon, I don't know if it could be considered overpowered, but it was very close, was the fact that the MP5 with a silencer did not get a damage drop-off. So this kind of leads me in my next one, and the next most overpowered weapon in the Call of Duty series, I definitely can agree for myself that it's the UMP-45 from Modern Warfare 2. These aren't in any specific order, but the UMP had this crazy thing where you stuck a silencer on it and it would still kill in like 3 bullets from any distance on the map, and it was great. You had the mobility of a guy with a submachine gun, but you still had the damage capacity to put anything down from any distance as long as you learn to deal with the recoil. But besides from that, other weapons were really good, like the FAMAS was amazing in Modern Warfare 2. These guns were really powerful, and in comparison to other weapons, there was not much of a reason to use it. Especially reasons like, you know, picking the M16 over the FAMAS, so I think you understand where I'm coming from. If we move out a little bit, I'm really proud of what Treyarch did for the Call of Duty franchise multiplayer-wise, because Treyarch was able to balance the weapons finally. Back in the day, Infinity Ward didn't really want to balance things, and they kind of let the players balance the weapons and then let people figure it out. But what happened as a result is you got these crazy weapons that just resided over everything else. But Treyarch changed stuff with Black Ops. And during Black Ops, I'm sure you guys remember the FAMAS, the original FAMAS was ridiculous. It was amazing and had an insanely high rate of fire for an assault rifle, and it had very little sway. In comparison, I think the other one that was really powerful was the AK-74U sub, but the FAMAS I think beats it, and that gun was great. But they patched those weapons. They're still good, but they didn't make them like unusable, but they made them more balanced. And it's really hard to say that there wasn't an extremely overpowered weapon in Black Ops as a result. There were weapons that were better and they were good, but they weren't light years beyond other guns. Like if we take, for example, the MP40 in World at War with a round drum, like the extended mags of that game, is just probably the most overpowered weapon in Call of Duty ever. If you guys agree with me, please leave a comment below, because this is all about getting the perspective of you as well. But I think that gun just kind of like reigns over everything else, and as a result I think it was kind of a fun weapon, but at the same time it felt very cheap to use that gun, and I think I stuck with the STG-44 for a lot of World at War. But we're wrapping things up here, and the reason I wanted to make this video is to put things into comparison, and I like what Infinity Ward ended up doing with Modern Warfare 3, and the weapons are actually semi-balanced now, and they're still working on them, which is a godsend when it comes to a game where you have millions of people playing, and they want an experience that is, you know, the best for everybody. So even though guns like the MP7 are extremely good, the The other triple shot gun in this game, the Type 95, is way better than the M16, but the M16 is just such a bad gun. I think they did a pretty decent job with the weapon balance in this game, and it's not ridiculously leaps and bounds over the other guns to make the other guns practically useless in comparison. So let me know what you guys think of the video and the overall effectiveness and guns in the Call of Duty series thus far, and which guns you think were the most powerful from the games before. I think this will be some interesting feedback. Thank you all very much for watching the video. This has been Maximilian, signing out.